So we've just left our mooring up on the right, in front of that green boat, and already we're in our first lock, which is a small stop lock. So last time we come through here there was about an inch difference in the levels. Doesn't need to worry about the sill too much, I don't know. And over opposite is the Elsan Point rubbish bin. We've just got water, so we've topped up the water, everything's ready. We can just drop the rubbish over there and then crack on before it gets too hot today. So we've used the boater services. There's that wonderful pub. I've talked about it a lot, the Greyhound. It's so good. Please pop in if you come in this way. And there's the Coventry Canal, right for the north, or Atherstone and Eton Lichfield up that way, left for Coventry. We did that last time we were here. Isn't it a beautiful bridge though? Britannia Foundry Derby, 1837. They took some pride in what they did back in them days, and here it is still, standing proud. Right, time to get going. So we've made the turn, boats everywhere, but it's nice, isn't it? Must get a gas bottle at some time, Linda, just reminding myself. As you can see, popular mooring place, because you're right by Hawkesbury Junction, which is lovely. Incidentally, as many boaters know, although on your maps it's Hawkesbury Junction, it's always called Sutton Stop. Not always, but regularly called Sutton Stop, because back in the day it was a very, very popular meeting point, junction point for boaters, and the landlord of the pub, his name was Sutton, so it's called Sutton Stop as opposed to Hawkesbury Junction. Now we're on the Coventry, and the water level, as you can see, is low. How low do you think that is, Linda, looking at that on your right? About a foot?
Just over a foot, I reckon.
Now it's low there, and we know where we're heading up here to Atherstone. There's lock restrictions. It's been really, really bad. I think there's 7 locks of Atherstone, so we'll see how it goes. Now just off there to the right, you'll see it looks like a winding hole. Actually, that was the the Newdigate arm. The Newdigate arm. Now for those of you from the Midlands will know, Newdigate was a big colliery. My dad worked there for many years, and so without a doubt that would have been for supplying with coal. Much of what would have gone down south, down the Grand Union or the Oxford, from that little arm. So yeah, there's loads of collieries along here. How nice. Now on this straight piece here, you can't see much over that side of a hedge at all. Look behind us, you can't really see a lot, but all the way along there is a great big area called Coal Pit Field. And I don't think it takes a massive stretch of imagination to work out what kind of industry was based around here, particularly when we've just gone past the Newdigate arm that went to Newdigate Colliery. Coventry and surrounding area, just so much coal back in the day, and mines everywhere. So at the end of this straight by the Coal Pit Fields, some lovely houses. Actually I can't see the houses, but some lovely gardens backing on to the canal with some of their own mooring. Pretty idyllic place really. I mean, look at some of these places. I say it's not, I can't really see the houses, there was a couple now. But yeah, that'd be nice. Get your own boat, live one of them. Very nice. Nice big conservatory. Bet asphalt in there today. Now this is called Charity Dock, with some strange mannequins. Not sure if this is a theme of the whole place or what. There's Superman, I think. Oh, it's a Hulk, sorry, over there. Bart Simpson. Good grief. A camel? Well, of course. Why not?
Queen Mum.
I thought that was a Queen Mum. Didn't like to say, in case it wasn't. old petrol station things with pumps with skulls on the top.
What about that weird monkey thing or whatever?
Monkey sitting on the top of a tree.
Or it could be a person.
Oh, we've got a spaceman. Sorry, I got excited. I'm into space. We've got a...
Not a spaceman, it's that.
Oh, it's the Stig, isn't it?
Yeah. Not a spaceman.
Morning. Get ready to turn. So yeah, this is odd. What's it called? Charity Dock. Well, there seems to be a lot of junk piled up at the top there. Old moggy miners, look, old cars. Well, I don't know what the story behind this lot is, but it's interesting. Definitely looks like back end of a scrapyard, car breakers or something. Maybe not. Interesting stuff. So this is Marston Junction. Coventry Canal goes off to the left. And off to the right is the Ashby. A lovely canal. Goes to near where my parents used to live. I've walked and cycled on that many years ago when we lived in the Midlands, or when my parents lived in the Midlands. And there's no locks. Dead end. They're rebuilding it. With the last little bit's been opened up to Moira, I think it's pronounced. Moira, M-O-I-R-A. So they're building that last little bit. Interestingly, there's a big dock and a wharf and all that ready at the end, but 6 miles of canal missing. But we're hoping, and it should work out, to be able to go down there on the way back. That's what we're planning, isn't it, Linda?
It certainly is.
So we hope to do the Ashby. It's supposed to be absolutely beautiful. So there's a whole load of allotments at the back of the houses. As we have a few, many viewers from abroad, you probably wouldn't know, allotments are areas of land that are allocated, you have to put yourself on a list, for growing vegetables. It's a very British tradition, and it has sustained many people for many years. Obviously in the Second World War, when there was much starvation going on, there was a Dig for Victory campaign where people dug up the gardens, dug up their allotments, did everything they could to grow food because we were starving. And the allotment tradition is massive. So we're skirting around the outsides of the Neaton. The canal sort of goes around the edge of the Neaton, or Neaton goes up to the edge of the canal, whichever way you want to look at it. So there's some canal side homes, classic sort of 1930s build. Actually maybe a tiny bit later then. The amount of beautiful weeping willows we passed on our trip, it's so nice. So when we leave when we leave the Neaton, our next port of call, we'll be heading for Atherstone. And my sister went to school in the Neaton, and I went to school in Atherstone. Sort of feels like my hometown, really. And oh yeah, look at this. Well, if you're going to do graffiti, do it well. Very nice. Now over there through that wood, and we haven't seen it at all, there were loads of quarries, Judkins quarries they were called, and there was a massive spoil tip, locally christened Mount Judd, and it's kind of a landmark now. It stayed there, see, for miles around. Now the canal was actually used for transporting stone from the quarries. According to my book I've just been reading, the boat owners hated transporting the stone because it damaged their boats. Coal's very soft compared to hard stone, and they really didn't like filling it up with stone from the quarry. So the canal's really snaking around here. Lovely countryside, and very much enjoyed ourselves in this. Gorgeous weather as too. I'm always on about the weather. Apparently it's going to hit 90 today, possibly. and then the cooler weather
Hopefully
start.
a bit of rain.
Yeah, the cooler weather starts tomorrow, and it's supposed to start having some rain showers, but nothing like the country needs. We need a biblical deluge, don't we? 40 days and nights of rain.
Any's better than nothing though.
Yeah, anything's better than nothing. We're well out of the Neaton now, on the way to Atherstone, my hometown, well, my school town. I lived most of my life from 3 to 18 in a little village called Hawkesbury Junction, which is about 5 miles from Atherstone. And that's where I went to secondary school, where my friends were, where I went drinking, where I hung around. I was excited to go back. So we're out of that shaded area where the boats were, and I see the cows in the field. Lovely trees, older tree I think, yeah it is. But you can see, I know that's where the cows come, but it's pretty low. Not a problem with navigation. I mean, we know Atherstone locks are pretty dire, but it's fine. CRT are controlling it, they're letting the boats through, feeding the water down if necessary. But this is so nice. So this is Bridge 31, and there's a lovely heritage sort of wharf stroke boathouse here, and universally the bridge ahead is known as Clock Bridge, because at the boathouse, look at that beautiful place. And I must have been over this bridge thousands of times, because that was my route to school. It's quite a steep in the middle of Humpback Bridge for the traffic, you can't really tell from this side. So that place was kind of abandoned or just left to rot really a bit, but look at it now, it's seems to have some second life going on. Beautiful. So that's Clock Bridge. Takes you down to the A5 Watling Street if you go right down the bottom, or turn left for Atherstone via Manchester. So that's Bridge 34. We've sort of left Herts. We're in beautiful countryside, and you'd think not a lot around here, but actually we're approaching Manchester. Now Manchester is a small area on the side of Atherstone, which when I was at school there you just thought it was like an extension of a town, a few houses, mates live there. And actually historians are now pretty sure, well some are, they always argue don't they, but in AD 60 that was the fight of a huge battle between the Romans, they had a big base at Manchester, hence the name, and the English warrior lady, now known as Boudica. Older people will know her as Boadicea, but they've sort of decided the pronunciation was wrong, it's Boudica, whichever you're happy with. And in around AD 60 it seems there was a massive battle here involving the might of the English against the Roman army. Now the Romans were heavily outnumbered, but they were phenomenally well organised. If you know anything about the history of the Romans, boy did they organise themselves when it came to battles and fighting. And the British, sadly, despite being massively more numbers, they got slaughtered. Boudica was killed, some say she got poisoned or poisoned herself. Hard to tell from 2,000 odd years on. But Tacitus, the Roman historian, wrote at the time that 80,000 British were killed. Well, I suppose you'd call it English and not British. But you can't judge a number like that, but it was certainly a huge showdown between Boudica, who'd been an absolute pain in the backside basically to the Romans who were trying to occupy around here, with her attacking the left, right and centre. She was very successful. Net result, she lost, tens of thousands dead, and lots of English people slaughtered, punished, whatever, and the uprising completely put down. Well, that's Manchester Marina. That's very new. Well, since I was last around.
I'm sure.
Wasn't here last time we came. Isn't in our little guidebook. I know there was a former wharf there, an old abandoned one, and quarrying all over the background there. Very nice. Manchester Marina. So definitely some work boats of some kind here. Quite a few looking around the corner, which is even more of them. So I'm not sure what this is about really. It all looks fairly new. I can see a sign up ahead. That'll probably tell us a bit more. Proper old working boat, look. Still being used. Wonder how old that is. So Manchester Wharf, home of the Roffen Group. Not sure what they do, but it looks like something to do with transporting stuff around. Gravel, quarry, who can tell? I'll look it up. Not too far from Atherstone locks, which have got a time restriction on them due to the lack of water. And although this is low, we've not had any troubles with grounding or issues at all really. But it is low. That's what you call a mixed business. Oak tree farm, narrowboat joiners and alpaca farm.
There's an alpaca.
They are strange looking animals.
I love them.
They are very cute. Very, very rural. So Atherstone's a small town and I grew up in a little village. It's a lovely area. Absolutely lovely. Huh. I've said how much this area revolves around the coal industry. And that boat, I wonder what that chap's old job was on that boat.
You mean Bill? Oh, I think you were a miner, Bill.
Miner Bill. No doubt worked in mines around here. Lovely. Based in Atherstone.
Painted of it.
Yeah, winding gear. Colliery winding gear. Lovely. So this is where we're off now. Oh. We're very close to the town of Atherstone, but you wouldn't guess, would you? So it's the first of the Atherstone locks. Boat going down, so we'll have to wait, which is fine. Just get into the side. So there's Bridge 41 in our boat, moored up, and here we are at Atherstone Top Lock. Beautiful flight, and the boat's just got in front of us, gone through, and our boat's coming up. There's Linda raring to go, windlass. It's our first lock for...
Second.
Oh, we did that stop lock today. Hawkesbury Junction. So we are going in Atherstone Top Lock. So we're out to lock 1 and I think Linda's opening lock 2. Ready? Indeed she is. Thank you for your assistance. Straight into the next one. Excellent stuff. Well done, Linda, getting that done. So they drain pretty quick. Despite the leaks. These smaller locks. There's the front of the lock with the chap helping, volunteer. believe it's just around this corner. So lock 3, beautiful place to be. It's really so nice, and a beautiful Wi-Fi. Will she step over or will she walk round? Oh dear. Well done, Linda. So, off to lock 4, which is set against us because of the boat in front. So once again, get through, moor up, get ready for the next one. So here we are in lock 4. Don't want to go too fast, so I'm going to be really slow because Linda reckons I'm going too fast. And soon be there. Won't be long now.
You're going the same speed as silly Wally-head.
As what?
You silly Wally-head, you're going the same speed
As what?
as before.
You've got a bad judgment of speed. Anyway, do some work. Move that. So we just emptied out now. Very, very picturesque. Lovely set of locks in Atherstone. So just step it over again. One day she'll come a cropper. So there we are. 4th lock done. So lock 5, accompanied by Elvis. One of the best Elvis songs. And hopefully we can moor up just after this.
Morning, peeps.
Yeah, good morning. We had a good time through Atherstone yesterday, didn't we? Made good time, but we didn't make we didn't quite finish our video off because it was a long day. It was hot. We went shopping in Atherstone, filled up with lots of provisions, didn't we?
Yep.
And so it was a long old day, and then we got back, and unfortunately, our first annoying incident on the cut, wasn't it?
Yes. A drunk gentleman.
A drunk gentleman with a dog that kept jumping on our boat. I mean, he was moored up a couple hundred yards away, well, 100 yards away. The dog kept jumping on the boat, trying to get through the dog hatch. And I
Duck hatch, not a dog hatch.
I am bad at words. And I sort of went over to check, mate, can you, you know, call your dog? And he just sort of shouted a bit at the dog from 200 yards away, hey, come here. Ben told me it was just a puppy and it weren't a problem.
It was an old dog, actually.
Well, it was one of those little big bags of muscle with a big jaw.
Called a Staffordshire Bull
It
Terrier.
wasn't a staffy, was it?
It looked
It looked like a staffy.
cross anyway.
But it just wouldn't go away, and it kept jumping on the boat and trying to pester us. So I went and asked him again, and basically I got a mouthful and told, get on your boat and off. If you can't be bothered with it, I don't know what your problem is. And so I was drunk, he was very drunk. This is 5 o'clock in the afternoon, wasn't it?
It was a bit violent
So basically,
and aggressive.
Shame's a bit unpleasant, but you know, people, isn't it? So we had to get back. We did get back on. We did 2 more locks. No, 1 more.
2 more.
2 more locks. Yeah, 2 more locks. Moored up again. Much
And had
nicer.
a most beautiful night. It really was a fabulous spot. So
we had
very pleased.
It was. We had a
Preferred this spot anyway.
Yeah, it's a nice spot. We had a barbecue.
And this is where I wanted to come in the first place.
So we had a good time. But what's frustrating, I get back to my hometown, Atherstone, where it's like, oh, Atherstone, I'm really excited to get there, and it's the one place we get grief.
I think
Yeah.
I'm not moving here.
Yeah, Linda laughed at that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, you know what to do.
Give us a thumbs up.
And subscribe if you don't already. And see you next week, folks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.